Aloha and welcome to today's topics. This is a community service program where we discuss issues that can affect you. My name is Bobby Bautista and I will be your host tonight. Today's topic is about access to legal services. We all know that it is very difficult and can be very expensive to have an attorney to help you with your court case or your government administration case or to resolve your legal disputes. But I can think of one nonprofit organization who can help you with that, and that is Volunteer Legal Services Hawaii. And with me, I have two guests from Volunteer Legal Services Hawaii, two administrators, Katrina and Danielle. Hi, welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
And we have these two ladies. Thank you for coming on board. And can you please tell us a little bit about yourselves and your title and what you do for Volunteer Legal Services Hawaii, starting with Danielle.
Well, thank you for having us. I actually am the intake specialist, so when you call our intake line, I'm the first person that you would contact, and I would get your information on what your legal issue is and determine what kind of program that would best serve you throughout our organization.
Thank you. And Katrina?
Well, I'm an advocate for the programs, for a lot of programs at Volunteer Legal Services Hawaii. I work closely with the homeless population and I do a lot of outreach.
Great. And the name Volunteer Legal Services Hawaii, what's that about?
Well, Volunteer Legal Services Hawaii is a nonprofit organization, and it was established in 1981 by the members of the Hawaii State Bar Association's Young Lawyers Division. Our organization deals with a variety of programs, from educational workshops to clinics, food representation, even tax assistance and brief services. For more than 20 years, Volunteer Legal Services Hawaii's pro bono attorneys have provided legal assistance to more than 100,000 individuals statewide.
Well, let's talk about what you do for your clients. What program, well, let's begin with you, Danielle. What programs do you help out with?
Well, the bulk of my work is really doing the intake process and then scheduling the clients for what's called a neighborhood legal clinic, which we refer to as NLC. We actually have those on the island of Oahu, as well as in the Big Island and in Maui. What we do is we do the intake process where we figure out what the client's legal issue is. We categorize those into two different categories, which is family law and general law. We schedule those clients to meet with the attorneys during that clinic time. They roughly get about a half an hour to discuss their issue. This half an hour session is for legal advice and consultation. So they would be able to get their questions answered regarding their legal matter, as well as possibly get a recommendation for our pro bono program. So that's really what we do in the neighborhood legal clinics. And
so you get attorneys to work at the clinics?
Yep, they're all volunteers. We actually spend a lot of time on the phone trying to recruit these attorneys from the state of Hawaii. Anyone is really eligible as long as you're an active member of the attorney, and they come for roughly about 3 or 4 hours and they help us with our clinics.
Well, Danielle, as you know, and I must confess to the audience, I've been a volunteer in many of these clinics, and I've spent many hours volunteering at Volunteer Legal Services, helping their clients. And I do it because it's a very rewarding experience. Yes, it's pro bono, I don't get paid, but I help the client. But for my help, the client would have been in a worse position. With my help, they were able to, I was able to help them with their situation, their legal case, or their government administration case. And besides the warm feeling that I get after I help someone, they've also given me some awards, which I have here, which I'm so fond of. I framed and I hang up. So I get this once a year, and I have a number of these, so thank you for that. I'm sure I'll be getting more. And in Hawaii, I'm sure there's a homeless population here. Do you service them?
We do, in fact. This is our latest program, so we're still getting to know this program. It's actually a federal program. It's called the Homeless Prevention Rapid Rehousing Program, which it's HPRP. And that program is to prevent homelessness throughout the state of Hawaii, as well as to help those that are currently homeless. And how they do that is through financial assistance for those that are currently homeless or in need of it. Also, they could provide possible pro bono services for these clients who are dealing with landlord-tenant issues. And that's really where we come in, is that we help with those clients that are dealing with landlord-tenant issues that could lead to them being evicted from their homes. Or we help those bankruptcy clients as well that are possibly losing their housing. So those are two main areas that we help in terms of the homeless prevention program.
With the current state of the economy, have you seen a great need for this, or has there been a greater need for this?
There has been. We see a lot more bankruptcy clients, a lot more foreclosures, a lot more landlord-tenant issues possibly leading to this, and a lot of people don't know where to turn, and we're oftentimes their first point of contact.
And Danielle, do you also, well, I do family law, which entails a lot of divorces myself, and is there a lot of clientele calling you about that?
There are. I think the bulk of our clients are family law, whether it's divorce, custody, child support, guardianship, adoption. Those are the main issues in family law that we handle. We get a lot of those clients calling us with general disputes, contested cases as well as uncontested cases. And for divorce, we actually have a special program called the Uncontested Divorce Pro Se Workshop. And those clients are actually funneled through our NLC clinic. Once we determine it is an uncontested case, they go on to the divorce workshop where they meet with an attorney twice, and they also, we waive the filing fee at the courthouse, the family courthouse. For the state of, or excuse me, for the island of Oahu, it's an $80 fee, which is a great deal if you're qualified for our services. And that's, again, the 2 times with the attorneys going over the paperwork to file, and then again, us filing it for you at the family court. For Outer Island is actually going to be $60, so it's a little bit cheaper, but still the same service.
Well, that's great. Well, sad to say, there's a market for that. People are getting divorced in Hawaii. Even though we're in paradise, it's not enough to keep 2 people together, I guess. And well, Daniel, I've actually done some pro bono contested cases for Volunteer Legal Services Hawaii. I know you mentioned your workshops are for uncontested cases. Is there any way, like someone who's going through contested, maybe a TRO or maybe a divorce, is there a chance for them to get an attorney to help them?
Yeah, there is. It's through our pro bono program. We actually handle family cases in our pro bono program as well as our general law. What we do is, again, the first point is the neighborhood legal clinic. We determine what kind of case it is, what kind of help the client needs. Then they can get a recommendation for the pro bono program. If they do so, then they go through another process to determine whether that is actually a case that we'll be able to handle. Then if they go past that point, they are entered into the pro bono program. We will send them an application, in which case it is, they will fill everything out. We need a proof of income, and then the idea is that we will spend time working to find you a pro bono attorney. It's not a guarantee because our attorneys are all volunteers, but we work very hard to find somebody to help you.
And family law could include what else?
Family law is everything. It's adoption, it's guardianship, it's child custody, child support, divorce being a large portion of that. We help in all those areas.
Well, great. That's very good to know. And Katrina, let's hear from you. What's your program that you handle?
One of the programs that we are currently starting in October is the Housing Support Legal Program, and we have that every year. And that program is designed to help our indigent population, mainly focusing on transitional and emergency shelters. So it's an educational workshop that we provide to all transitional and educational shelters on the island of Oahu. And it consists of topics like landlord-tenant, family law, consumer law, just a general overview of what their legal rights are. So as they're transitioning back into the community, they know what to expect and what their rights are in general. So that's pretty much what the Housing Support Legal Program is about.
Like what's a typical case for that?
Well, probably be landlord-tenant. A lot of some clients that I've encountered have problems that, they get evicted. They don't know what their rights are. So just, being able to attend this workshop and learn as they go back into the community and get their own place, they know what their rights are. They know what to expect. They know where to go to for help.
And what other programs are you working on?
Well, we also have a parenting plan mediation program that I wanted to mention. Unlike the neighborhood legal clinics, this program doesn't have any income guidelines, so it's open to the public. And the parenting plan mediation program consists of two pieces. One is the educational piece, and the other one is the mediation piece. The educational session is to help parents learn how to manage conflict, and they explore their own intentions and their values. So, they come up with a proposed plan that is in the best interest of their child before going to mediation.
Parenting plan, what do you mean by that? Is that a CPS case or something else?
No, it's an educational workshop. It's geared to parents who are going through a divorce. And what's expected of them is to attend the workshop separately, 6 hours, and just come up with a proposed plan that'll benefit them in, the mediation process.
And have you seen much success with that?
Yes. Yeah, we have a lot of court referrals. We have referrals from other nonprofit organizations, and there has been a success with these couples. They don't have to go to court and fight. They already know what they want. They're looking at the best interests of their families. So.
Great. And again, with these rough economic times, Daniel, as you mentioned, people are filing bankruptcy. Do you do workshops for that as well?
We do. We actually have, this is another one of our newer programs. We offer, we start out with the neighborhood legal clinic again. See a theme going on here. But they actually will meet with a bankruptcy attorney to determine whether it's a good idea for them to file bankruptcy at this time. For many people, they think of that as their first thing, like, oh, I'm in financial debt right now. What I need to do is file bankruptcy. Well, there are other options, and a bankruptcy attorney will discuss that with you. But in this case, they'll determine whether you're able to file Chapter 7 bankruptcy. If they determine that you are qualified for that, they will recommend you for our pro se workshop. And this is where we would help the client by helping themselves fill out all the paperwork. In bankruptcy, there's a lot of paperwork. And then understanding what their rights are, what the process is. And then they will do that in the pro se workshop. And then after that, they will be able to meet with an attorney to go over their paperwork to make sure they filled it out okay. And then they will file it on their own. So this is really showcasing pro se versus pro bono. Pro se means doing it on your own, so representing yourself. Whereas pro bono means that you'll be having an attorney actually acting on your behalf. So in this case, it's just the pro se workshop.
I see. And so the pro se client, they have to pay for their own court fees or filing fees at court?
They will. There are certain waivers they can get. That's through the court. We'll describe that. It's not through our actual organization, but it's through the court. So they can file for that or ask for that assistance.
And the fees, they can be somewhat substantial?
They can be. I'm not up to date on them, but that's in a lot of ways people call us for wanting pro bono help with their bankruptcy, and we can provide that also. So the pro se workshop is definitely something they're promoting right now because a lot of clients can do this pro se. However, we do offer the pro bono service for the bankruptcy also, but you need a recommendation from a bankruptcy attorney to actually get in the pro bono part of the program.
So no matter what, if clients want some pro bono help, they have to at least, seems like the starting point is a clinic. Yeah,
it really is. We find out really what the heart of the matter is because I don't have a law degree, so when the client calls me asking for advice, I can't give it. And what I do is I say, you know, but I can get an attorney that knows that answer for you and will be able to help you. And a lot of clients are really, you know, in desperate need of pro bono services, thinking that they can't do this on their own. And so what we try and tell them is that, you know, it's possible that this can happen through our program. And we've had a lot of success in that. We've had a lot of cases placed with pro bono attorneys, and we're working on that. But a lot of it's also going through the neighborhood legal clinic and then determining what's your next step after that.
Well, thank you. But essentially, I guess, it takes time for a client to get legal help.
It does. We have a lot of people who are in need of it right now. Their hearing is next week, and we try and help those people as much as we can. We stress that we cannot find a pro bono attorney in that time frame. We really, to even get recommended and go through our process, it's at least 2 or 3 weeks, and that's even to the point where we get you into the pro bono program of which we're finding an attorney. I mean, there are ways of helping in the meantime, and we do offer those services. But it is a lengthy process.
So we ask the clients for their patience.
Yes, please be patient with us. We are trying our very best with the resources that we do have. And we just have a lot of different ways that we can help you, and please be patient with us. We're trying.
Great. And every beginning of every year, people think about taxes. It's on their minds. Katrina, do you do anything with that?
Right. Our organization not only helps people the public file taxes, but we also represent them if they owe IRS taxes. So we have a low income tax clinic, and depending on your income, as long as you're 50% below, or 50,000, you have 50,000 and no more gross monthly income, annual income, I'm sorry, then you would qualify for the program. And it works just like pro bono. We depend highly on volunteer attorneys to represent these clients who owe the IRS back paid taxes. For the filing of the taxes, we do that every year. And we not only go out to homeless and transitional shelters to provide, you know, tax filing services, but we also have a location at our office where we provide the same service.
Again, is that a clinic that people have to go to first?
That for the tax filing, you can call in or you can walk into our office to file your taxes. So it is a clinic, yes it is. And we depend on our volunteer attorneys to help out who are within that field of taxes, who work within that field, and even CPAs. And it's also open to the public, so whoever wants to help file taxes, they can come. They just need to take the test first.
Yes, and again, as I was saying before, I volunteer at Volunteer Legal Services, and we ask that if you are an attorney watching, we know who you are, well, you know who you are, so please, if you would like an avenue to help people, please call Volunteer Legal Services. Again, the number is 528-7046, 528-7046. And getting back to the clients, who can ask for your help? I mean, if they make a lot of money, can they get your help, or do they have to make a little money?
Well, the income requirements are 200% over the poverty line, and I know that doesn't really equate to a lot of math for some people, but it depends on your household monthly income as well as how many people are in your household. So there are a lot of different specific guidelines for this that that make it rather difficult to narrow down, but we will, during that intake process, determine whether you're qualified for our services. So just give us a call, and even if you not really sure if you're qualified, and we'll let you know.
Right. And when talking about assets too, we waive their first primary home and their first vehicle.
Yeah.
But if anything else is not an exception.
And the number of children or family size matters too?
It does. Whether you have 1 child or you have 9 children, it makes a difference in terms of our income requirements.
And so you have clinics, well, you have your main office in downtown Honolulu on Queen Street, and you have these clinics all over the island, as you were saying before?
We do have, every Thursday we have a clinic at our Honolulu office. Then we have twice a month in Hilo, once a month in Kona, and then we offer once a month in Maui. We don't have any services currently in Kauai other than we do phone consultations. So if you're in need of our assistance in Kauai, you can still call us, but we will be able to help you with, in terms of our neighborhood legal clinic, with an actual phone consultation. So an attorney from Honolulu is going to be calling you and giving you advice over the phone. They still can recommend you for the pro bono program, and we will help to find an attorney on Kauai. However, the initial consultation won't be actually in person. It'll be over the phone.
And is there anything else you want to? Is there any other program you might want to mention, or services you provide?
Well, you know, we also help the youth. We educate the youth. And the same with the Housing Support Legal Program. It's not only to transitional emergency shelters, but we also provide educational workshops at Halekipa. And that is, you know, it's educating foster children when they go off on their own, and, you know, at least they know what their rights are. It's the same thing. Yeah. And we also have the Young Families in Need, the grads program, where we go out to the high schools and we provide the same workshops, especially family law workshops for pregnant teens and their families.
Is there, or either of you, is there any like success story or a client who came in at the end of their rope, and you were able to talk to them and help them, and maybe you called an attorney and maybe they were able to get a pro bono attorney? Is there any success story or a happy ending for that person?
Well, we have a lot of those. In fact, that makes this job really a lot of fun, is because I'm the first point of contact for the client. So I can see them from the very beginning go through our pro bono program and actually get placed and have their issues resolved. So that's kind of fun on my end, where I do see a lot of clients who come in who are needing our services right away, and we're able to get on a phone, contact an attorney that is able to give them advice to the point of where they can represent themselves and they feel comfortable. That I really see when we're empowering somebody to do it on their own is really a great thing. When we have other cases where we do help with immigration also, and that's kind of neat. We have a few attorneys that we can call and do consultations for immigration clients, and we have great success with those clients. That's where I see the best, is I'm able to be there from the beginning to the end, and I really like that.
So of course they cannot pay you, of course, but on a personal level, but do they give you like thank you cards, or do they invite you to the birthday parties, or is there a particular day they come in and bring you food? And if there is, let me know so I can be there.
Well, you're always there for that, it seems like.
I'm guilty as charged.
No, we actually get a lot of little tokens of appreciation, with cards,
Right.
candies, flowers.
Yeah.
People are really grateful for what we do. A lot of people don't know about us, and when they do find us, we seem to get a lot of repeat business from that client, which is great. As long as they are qualified and as long as we can provide that assistance, we're more than happy to. So it is good, nice to get a little thank you card every now and then.
I remember one case I had, I did a TRO in court, and my client, she was just crying and sobbing, and she really felt that, you know, everyone was against her, the system was against her, and it was a little rough going, but I helped her through the court hearing and the process, and she got what she wanted, and she was very happy, and that was very rewarding for me. And Katrina, do you have any similar stories?
Oh, I have a lot, but I can't think of it right now. But, you know, it's the job that we do is really rewarding. You know, just to have the client come in and say, thank you so much, I wasn't evicted. You know, I worked it out with my landlord. Or, you know, thank you for helping me on this collection case, you know. And even family law. So, I mean, it's just rewarding just to have them come into the office and say thank you. And then, you know, and we get a lot of referrals from their friends and families too who don't know about us. So, yeah, we do a lot of work.
And I'm sure your clients appreciate you, and you're doing a great service. And again, I also want to as attorneys to volunteer and sign up for all these clinics that Katrina and Danielle mentioned, because there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of people out there that need help. Is there any final word you both want to say to the audience?
I think, and not only if you're an attorney, if you want to volunteer for, you're interested in law, interested in secretarial work, anything like that, we offer volunteer positions as well, or internships. So if you're interested in volunteering, or if you're an attorney who wants to volunteer, feel free to give us a call. Again, the intake line is 528-7046. Right. But if you're a client, just thinking that you've heard about our programs, you might be interested in some of them, just give us a call. We'll let you know if we can help you. If we can't, we'll definitely give you a referral for somebody that can help you. So feel free to give us a call, 528-7046.
Katrina?
No, Danielle said it all. We need volunteers, whether it's coming in to help us out with cases, placing cases, and even attorneys. We could definitely use your help. So if you're out there, if you're an attorney or a volunteer from the public, we need you. Please call us. And our office is located at 545 Queen Street, Suite 100.
And also, if you are a client or a potential client and you thought about calling them, and you also have a website?
We do. We have a website, and the website is www.vlsh.org.
And if you are thinking about, if you need legal help and you don't know who to call, and if you're not sure if Volunteer Legal Services can handle your case, or if you're not sure that you qualify under the income guidelines, just give them a call, and they can determine that. And if they cannot help you, they can at least point you in the right direction. But at least they'll be able to help you in some form. Well, thank you very much, Katrina and Danielle. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And nice to see you. And
to see you.
Thanks for dressing up.
Anytime.
Anytime.
And again, this is today's topics, and we thank you for joining us. Until next time, hui ho, and thank you very much. And again, Volunteer Legal Services, 528-7046. And you might get Danielle to answer the phone. And if you want Katrina, you might have to leave a message. And they'll call you back as soon as they can.
Yes, we will.
And thank you very much for joining us.